Minutes up done. Hello everybody, how are you? Hope you're well. I hope you're having a blessed afternoon and able to be part of this. I just thought I should take a few moments. Let me just remember to put this on low sound so that we don't get any issues with interference. All right, so that's that. So I thought I should take a few moments to give my views and reaction to a status I put up a few days ago. Thanks for those of you joining. I'm not going to take very long with this, but I just want to make my point. And to be perfectly honest, I could have 100% ignored this subject. In fact, I was really intending to completely ignore this subject. And the reason is simple, because I really do not believe with all my heart and soul that the gentleman whose name I've mentioned is worth discussing. He isn't at all. But you see, the challenge we face today is that we live in an era when, based on the feedback I got from individuals, I can tell that a lot of people follow this gentleman. And, you know, they follow him religiously. And when I posted what I posted the other day, talking about the fact that I believe with all my heart that this is a classic case of a challenge upon ourselves. It's us who are actually, you know, the fact that 100,000 people can tune in to listen to that man is a big reflection on who we are than himself. And this is worsened by the fact that this gentleman has chosen to be very clear about and categorical about who he is. He has said openly that he follows some spirit. I've never bothered to learn which one it is. He has a godfather of some sort, and he uses power that gives him the ability to give it to individuals, and then they can do whatever it is, do as I say, whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of things that he says on his videos. So I for one, have never tuned in to ever listen to any of them. But because we are in social media, there are so many individuals that will throw these videos around and they'll do extracts and share them. And so they become very, very popular. And so in view of that, I posted something indicating that, look, I honestly am amazed. I'm drinking my coffee, so bear with me. And how people can be so moved by that person knowing the truth about who he is, and the fact that he has personally confessed and said with his own mouth who he is and who he follows and what he's about. And so when I posted that on my page, a lot of people got back there on that page. You can see the comments, and the general thread in the comment was this one. They said, you know what, it is better we listen to a person like him, because at least he speaks the truth. Those are the words. I'm paraphrasing. A lot of people commented, but they say so. It is better we listen to a man like him who speaks the truth, and they use that word, truth, than because he is speaking what's going on with people. He is saying what's going on with the situation in Zambia. And then they went on to say, unlike, these were the words, unlike many of the men of God who've been very quiet and chosen not to say anything. If anything, they're even eating together with all the corrupt leaders and whatever. So they had a lot. So the general sentiment that I picked from the many comments, and there were many, I haven't even read them. I mean, 800 and God knows how many comments. I stopped reading at 150 because there's just no time. I like some of the comments. They're very funny. So yeah, I haven't had time to read any of the comments, because I think the general view is the same. People are bitter, people are angry, and they feel that this man is a voice. So these are their words. Now, this is a voice. This is a man who is speaking for the people. He's speaking for the poor. He's speaking for the disadvantaged, you know, whatever. I've personally watched videos that have been shared of him literally cursing the current leadership. I haven't watched, but I've heard videos of him, you know, calling down a number of leaders in government and undressing them on his platform. And that's the word I'll use, because anybody who gets to a point where they discuss the inadequacies of somebody's manhood and get into very graphic details about that, for me, that's undressing somebody in public. I am very grateful that the Lord in the word of God declared, and I quote, "You shall know them by their fruit." And if you want to know what true fruit of the Spirit is, you just need to go to Galatians chapter 5 verse 22 and 23. And there you will learn about what the true fruit of the Spirit is. And then if you want to know what the fruit of the flesh is, you can back up on that same passage to verse number 16, and you can learn what the fruit of the flesh is. And I'll be very blunt. That man demonstrates fruit of the flesh. But then he's never ever refused. He's never ever refused or denied who he is. So for me, my topic isn't about him anymore. It's about the rest who actually choose to follow him. And today I want to use an illustration, because my illustration, I believe, will drive a point home, and I'll be done with this call and I'll go off, because at 18 hours we have a call with my mentor, Chibamba Kanyama. So that's more important. But for the sake of those of you who really love following this man, here's an illustration I'm going to use, and I think it'll really help you to re-evaluate whether you need to be following this man or not. I'm not here to say whether what he's saying is true or not true. I'm not here even to dispute the details he gives concerning those he's interacted with who are in power. I'm not here to dispute any of that. What I'm doing today is I'm going to just give you a verbal warning through illustration of the danger of continuing to listen to this man. In the temperate zones, specifically in the northern parts of the world where they have winters that are white, many years in the past there was a very big challenge of wolves. A lot of times wolves would come and attack sheep. And we know this because even in the Bible, the illustration of wolves and sheep is very common. It's an illustration used far more than lions, for example. So there would be more about the wolves. And many times wolves would come and attack sheep. And so a lot of people who were working in those areas got very challenged with the issue of the wolves. So they came up with a strategy which I think is absolutely very, very powerful. And this strategy worked in the following way. Since the wolves always were a menace and they lived in the forest, and going to hunt for them was really not very smart because of the effort involved, and yet at the same time many of the wolves would come and attack the sheep, what these guys did is they would actually take iron metal sheets, which would be sharpened into the shape of mini razors or knives. These would be embedded at the bottom of a wooden block. So imagine a wooden block about that, big. You can't see what I'm saying. About that big. Okay, and they'll put all these, razor-like iron sharp items on it. And then this wooden block would be placed at the bottom of a mold which was shaped like a container, and they would put this wooden block at the bottom with the razors at the bottom, and then they would take the blood of a lamb, so meaning any lamb that had been slaughtered, they would take that blood, lots of the blood from the lamb, and then they would mix that with water, and they would pour this water into this block, this mold. And once they did that, then they would take this and leave them out, because remember, this was winter period, so these things would freeze. Now, once they became a solid block, that block would be red in color and would be, completely rock solid. So they would take these blocks and they would spread them all across the forest. Like many parts of the forest, these blocks would be, put there. And so as they put those blocks there, what would happen? They would then sprinkle blood, from the same sheep. They would sprinkle blood around these blocks, and leave that there. So quite a bit of blood would be sprinkled and poured around the block, and this would be, happening everywhere. Now, what happened, my warning has come up. So what happens is they would go away, and then soon enough, the wolves would come around. And see, wolves would smell that blood. So they come there and they find the blood. So they get excited because that blood drives them crazy. They love blood because they say, hey, there must be a sheep nearby. So they'll go to this and actually sniff the blood and begin to lick it. And so for sure, there would be blood there. So they go, whoa, we've just found some blood. So this wolf will start licking that blood. And as it's licking that blood, here's what's going on. The tongue of that wolf becomes numb, because this is a rock solid, piece of ice. So you know what ice does? Ice numbs. So they would stop sensing or having any form of sensation on their tongue because they are licking that blood. Now, as they are licking that blood and their tongue becomes numbed because of the cold, the smell of that, blood keeps going into their nostrils. And so they get more and more excited because they believe that they're getting close to their, meat. And so inevitably they lick until they get to the razors, and then those razors would completely cut the tongue of the fox or the wolf. And so when the tongue gets cut, the wolf would begin to bleed because its tongue has been cut by those razors. And yet it would continue to lick even more because now blood is coming. It's like, oh my God, I think I've reached the actual meat. And at the same time, the tongue has been shredded. So the wolf thinks that what it is now getting to is actually the meat that was there, the source of the blood. In reality, it's eating its own tongue and it is bleeding to death. So many times those wolves will be found dead on top of the blocks of ice. Very effective method that was used for many years to counter the menace of wolves by all those farmers in that area. So why have I used that illustration? Because that illustration plays perfectly with what's going on with everybody listening to that man. You see, the wolf exemplifies you and I. The blood exemplifies the fact that, yes, there is some facts behind what is there. But what we don't realize is that there is so much, danger in those so-called facts. So as you keep on gobbling up that so-called blood, you are actually getting to a point where now the real danger that was hidden now manifests, which is the razors. And when those razors manifest, you are dead. And unfortunately, that's the reality. There is no way, listen to me, there's no way that a fountain can issue both sweet and bitter water. That never happened. And there is no way that the same mouth can issue a blessing and a curse. It doesn't work. And there is no way that somebody that openly declares that they are not of God can speak things of God. That's not going to happen. So inevitably what ends up happening is that you get to a point where you will be given some truth and then lots of lies. Truth, lots of lies. I remember the late Dr. Frederick Casey Price said powerfully, and I agreed with him. He said, even if somebody gives you 97% truth and puts 3% strychnine will still kill you. That's poison. Even 1% poison is enough to kill you. And unfortunately for many of you that make it a habit to listen to this guy and hang on to his every words, I assure you there is strychnine in what he's saying. There is poison in what that man is speaking. And I assure you, I don't care how much you think you are covered and protected. No, I'm only listening for, you will pick up that spirit of bitterness. You will pick up that poison, and it will poison you and it will mess you up. There is no way something that is not coming from the Spirit of God is going to bless you. It's the same reason why I argue with microphones being given to people being exorcised in a church. They're having a demonic manifestation, and you give them a microphone and you begin to ask them, where are you coming from? Who are you? What's your name? Who sent you? That's a demon, for crying out loud. You begin to listen to that demon is going to begin to drop lies in there. It's going to begin to say, it's your father-in-law, it's your brother, it's your uncle, it's your father. And this is how the lies are dropped in the midst of a so-called exorcism. It's the same reason I do not waste my time listening to a demon. Demons are for casting out. Now, I'm not in any way saying that person's a demon, but what I'm saying is, he has openly declared with his own mouth that he uses other spirits. He said it. And so why are you, a believer in Jesus Christ, wasting your time going to listen to such a person? I assure you, if you have an issue with the government, if you have an issue with the leadership that is currently ruling, you have 12th of August. Go and cast your vote. If you have an issue with the leadership, put them to account. Call them out. But please do not listen to people like that, because those people are going to introduce poison into your heart. Let me tell you something that a lot of people don't know, and my good friend Simon Mwansalayne has said it openly. He's a very smart man. People drop their numbers on that call, and many people go on to ask for the very things that he supposedly gave, the do as I say magic, to those politicians. There's a lot of people secretly that get in touch with him and say, look, I don't mind getting this do as I say power. What do I need to do? He's not a fool. He's a powerful marketer. And he has a very adoring audience to listen to him. And so everything that he's doing is what he is doing. He is using that as a means and as a strategy to market his own works, which you know what they are. He has said it with his own mouth. I'm not going to repeat what he said on this platform. I will not drop to that level. So it is up to you to decide. Are you smart enough to know the trick behind what he's doing? Or will you allow yourself, because of the anger and the hurt and the pain of whatever you're feeling because of whatever's been going on in terms of governance in this country, are you going to allow that to drive you to a self-confessed person who speaks with another spirit? Are you going to allow that to become the means by which you will be listening to this person? So my advice and my warning to you is stay away. You can follow the many forums that are written, and you can, find ways to express your displeasure at what's going on. You can ask and follow forums where they will discuss it. You can go directly into the political platforms where these things are discussed. And remember, on the 12th of August, go and cast your vote. If you're not happy, go and cast your vote. If you're happy, go and cast your vote. But what you should not do is listen to individuals that have confessed with their own mouths that they're using another spirit. Because when you do that, you will be captured by a seducing spirit. That's what it's called. Paul said that there will be those who will come with seducing spirits. That man is using a powerful seducing spirit. And those who are not smart are holding that. And somebody's saying that, no, he's just a comedian here. But either way, even if it's a comedian, did you know that entertainment has 3 words in it? Let me close with this. Entertainment has 3 words, and many people don't know. When you watch a comedian, when you watch a film, when you listen to music, when you watch a movie or a television show, they are entertaining you. Now, entertainment has 3 words. Entertainment. To enter means to get into. Tain means to be retained or possessed. Ment means to remain in the state of possession. So to be entertained means to enter into possession and remain in that state. Be wise with your entertainment. That's why we don't watch any form of entertainment. That's why we don't follow television anyhow. Because these things will enslave your mind. They will capture your thinking so that you are ensnared. You are programmed by whatever you are watching as entertainment. That's why television is called programming. It's for a reason. So those of you who switch on and follow that man and you listen for entertainment purposes, yes, you will enter into possession and remain in the state of possession because you're watching that man. And whatever he's going to speak is going to possess you. So be wise in what you allow to be entertained by. The Bible says, beware the things you set before your eyes. So don't just say, no, he's an entertaining guy. No, he's not entertaining. He's not a fool. He's a very sharp man. He knows exactly what he's doing. He is mesmerizing people. He is hypnotizing people. He is enchanting people. He is casting spells on his broadcasts. And for those of you that are watching, thinking that this is great entertainment, you are being spellbound. That's what you're doing. So those of you who want to continue watching, watch him. As long as, you know, when you've been warned and you continue, then the Bible calls you a fool. Because a fool is one who, even after being warned, they go back into their folly. That's foolishness. But a wise man is one who once has been warned, they realize, this thing, let me stay away. So those of you who want to continue being entertained, please do so with him. But I am telling you that you do not want to fall under enchantment from this man. So I hope my little statement here, my little message has made sense. I was very disheartened actually by the comments I saw from my page. And that's why I've done the video. Believe me, he's not worth the time being wasted even doing videos like this explaining. It's not worth it. The man is not worth it. But because there are 100,000 people that connect to listen to his broadcast, you realize that there is a whole group of people out there that are following this man. And so because they are following him, it's worth, even if my little small voice can come in there to warn somebody, hey, watch out guys, then at least it's worth it. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm sure people will continue having conversations in the chats. Please share this with those you think need to hear this. I am not on a battle with him. I'm not. If he's going to answer this, I won't even bother responding because for me, there's no point. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly his mission, and he's doing it extremely well. So my warning is not, I don't care about him. I care about you who actually make it a point to go listen to him. So have a blessed afternoon. Those of you who are able to, in about 40 minutes or so, join, if you're able to, that is, because you need to register. Join us as we take on Thinking Beyond Your Job with my mentor, Chibamba Kanyama. Have a great morning. Evening. I'm so used to mornings. Have a great evening. God bless.